V, and I'm here on Playa Grande in Costa Rica, bringing you day 12 of the 21-day video journey here in the Women's Connection. If you're interested in what that exactly is, click the link in the description and you can start your own journey for free with a community of awesome women. We are from all over the world and we come together to empower each other every day, and these are my sisters, folks. So on today's challenge, we're going to be talking about some difficult things that maybe I've gone through and how I came to the other side of it. What's been going on? I found this feather just now, which I'm really happy about. Symbol of strength and flight. One of the things that's been really hard for me has been coming to terms with how different a mindset I have than a lot of my friends that I've known throughout the years. The hard part here, folks, is trying to fit in, going against what you feel is your true nature. Even amongst my family, I have felt a lot of times not normal. I spend a lot of time in my own private space. I spend a lot of time thinking and working and being in my headspace. And what that does for me is allows me to not be pressured by society, not be put on by the mainstream notion of who I'm supposed to be. I wanted to talk a little bit about the journey getting here to Costa Rica and how difficult it really was. We really have been just wanting to experience living out of the United States for a long, long time. We knew that we had this destination in mind. We have a lot of connection here, and we lived in San Francisco for 25 years, and before that, we lived in all a bunch of cities on the East Coast, and we really had not had the opportunity to live in the country, to live out in the middle of nowhere. It was kind of a new thing for us, and being the city girl that I am, I always felt that I needed to experience really living out in the country, no matter where it was, just far away from the hustle, the bustle, and also I feel that the consumerism in America has just really been detrimental to my growth and progress, as a person. I fit in socially very well. I never felt a social awkwardness. I was never bullied or shunned by any kind of community. It was all very internal, and going off to art school was a really important step for me in the growth of validating the fact that I am an artist and that artists do think differently. Being in America, I felt kind of an oppression about being in the mainstream and having my kids be part of the mainstream culture. And I felt guilty if I wasn't doing that, because I felt that pressure to be a normal mom. And I always felt that I could contribute towards the community, and I did as much as I could. It was a really important part for me. I was on boards, and I was vice president, and I was involved in all of the auctions, and I was part of what made the culture and the community surrounding my children tick. I didn't just stand on the sidelines. I wasn't the type of mom that didn't get involved. I was way involved. And I think that I put a lot of pressure on myself to be that mainstream supermom, to go the extra mile and to impress other people and make my kids feel that I cared. I did, of course, but a lot of times I would just get involved and maybe it was a struggle. I worked really hard at it. I put everything I had into nurturing and being domestic, and everything was perfect, and fabulous, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to be that way, to be the super mom, to be the artsy mom, to fit in with the other moms and do bake sales and all that crap. But inside, I really hated it. And I think some moms love it. You know, I think it's part of what they live for. And I felt guilty for not loving it so much. And internally, I was very unhappy and very pressured. And I felt a lot of the times that when I was trying to be a leader, I was stepped on. And when I was trying to stand out inside of certain communities, that there was a pushback. There was a pushback. Why was that? You know, I don't know. Having to fit in with the rest of the moms in school systems and working alongside people sometimes isn't always the easiest thing for me. I've always felt that I'm unemployable. Whenever I've had jobs, I kind of would go against the grain, get fired, and that's just fed into the feeling of not being able to fit in, not being able to set up a career that is conducive to me being part of this, you know, artistic community. So now that I'm 50 years old and I just sent my first kid off to college and I'm living in Costa Rica and I've been able to take my now 13-year-old daughter out of mainstream public education, I kind of feel triumphant. I really feel like I found a community, that being Costa Rica expat community, that understands that it's okay to go against the mainstream and that it's okay to be part of a subculture that isn't really into being normal. And I feel that there's this pressure inside of mainstream America to act a certain way, say certain things, and look a certain way. And I never wanted to do that. I really felt tortured by that pressure, and I really felt depressed and angry a lot of the time when my kids were little. I remember one year my son was in 8th grade and I took on the Christmas wreath sales for the entire class. We ordered 250 Christmas wreaths that all got delivered to my house and took up my garage, and everybody came to me, and I was the one who was in charge of the whole project. Now, if you guys can relate, if you guys understand how much pressure it is to be a mainstream mom, to really go that extra mile, make those cookie sales, run those Christmas fundraising efforts, get involved. It's a great thing, but it's a lot of pressure. And there's not a day that didn't go by that had something that was having to do with the schools. And now that we've shifted, we've done this huge shift where my daughter is in a school that doesn't require huge amounts of input, where there's only 12 kids in her class. It's more about her. She's doing so good, and we feel so excited that she's so positive about it, that she was taken out of mainstream America and she's okay. And that just validates everything I was feeling for all those years where I was trying to fit in as an American mainstream mom. Here, it's not about that. You can really be who you are. You can fit in wherever you want to fit in. You can get involved where you want to, or you can hide in your jungle house and not see anybody. So I've come through the other side, and moving out of the United States, well, maybe that was the key. Maybe that was the way for me to come to terms with being a weird artist, always feeling that it was going to be for the betterment of my whole family. Not just me, but all of us have really found our place here. We were all struggling. My daughter was having a lot of social problems. My husband was working his tail off as a contractor and wasn't happy. No, was not. He had to bring home the bacon. The pressure was really big. Now, every day is like a vacation. We're able to go to the beach and live in the tropics and be in the middle of nowhere, not surrounded by American consumerism. I'm not tortured by the expectations inside of American public school system community. I don't have to deal with annoying moms who just have no respect for originality. And I think that San Francisco had its advantages. There was a lot of amazing, wonderful arts and culture, but there was still this pressure on me to be a super mom. And I was really ready to come back to my creativity, to come back to where Lisa is, the place where I can just be me, and I don't have pressure, and I don't have anxiety about that pressure. The struggle was real, it was hard, and I really want you guys to hear this, that it's okay if you're different. It's okay if you're not living the way that other people want you to or expect you to. You need to shed that guilt, and you need to be true to what's inside of you. This is how we live a long, beautiful, happy life. I live here in Costa Rica, and I am pleased to say that my life is now much happier, much more fulfilled, and I'm really living a dream life that no one can take away from me. No one can tell me how to live or how to be. I'm living true to myself. So anyway, this is Lisa B here on Playa Grande, sharing some of my hard times, how I came through the other side, and how I was able to shed those expectations of mainstream society, and how I was able to bring my whole family here to Costa Rica so that we could all be ourselves, so that we could all shine from within. And this is pretty much the Pura Vida life, and I enjoy it very, very much. Please feel free to reach out, and if you're interested in joining me on this 21-day video journey, remember to click the link in the description, and remember also to have an awesome day. Pura Vida, folks. There's Phil coming out of the water from Playa Grande.